Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Minecraft. Also, TerrafirmaCraft. So, Minecraft, you guys should already know the story behind this one. It's created by Mojang. It was originally created by Notch, who went on to found Mojang, and it exploded into one of the biggest games ever. Honestly, at this point, if you don't know what Minecraft is, you're living under here. Now, TerrafirmaCraft. This is a mod created by a fellow named Bioxx, who wanted, I'm guessing anyway, I've never talked to the guy personally, but who wanted to turn this game into a more survival-oriented experience. Ooh, horsies. Some really pretty horsies, too. I will come back for you guys later. Ooh. Metal. I'm just going to mark this because this will be important for later. Too much stuff happening. I can't get through my intro. All right. So, he wanted to make a Minecraft a more survival-oriented experience. So he turned, Minecraft, which is primarily a building game, and not only has he enhanced the building aspect of it, as you'll probably see for too much longer in this series, it's really neat what you can do with some of the microblocks that his mod adds. It's also more of a survival-based game. So you need to get food, you need to worry about water. You also need to worry about your nutrition. If I go in here and take a look here, you can see that I need fruit, vegetables, grain, protein, dairy, all that good stuff. The other thing you need that's been expanded upon, is crafting. So to build your first tools, you no longer take 3 pieces of stone and a stick and, a couple sticks and build yourself a pickaxe. Your first tools are created using this system. This is called knapping. And what you do is you're basically striking 2 rocks together to build your tools. So this will give me 2 knife blades. I also want to create myself an axe. So I etch out this thing in the shape of an axe head. And there we go. I also want to create a few javelins because those will be helpful in the hunting that we're going to have to do here shortly. So in the very first day, one of your first priorities is going to be food. Without, getting food in the first day, you're probably going to starve to death. So the first thing we want to do is we want to try to find some luckless animal and kill it. Now preferably we'll find one of the wild animals and not one of the ones that we could later come to tame. But I will take anything at this point. Now the reason why I'm kind of playing this game right now is I really wanted to put together and play a survival-oriented game. And I started looking around at games, like The Forest and some of the other ones that are out on the market nowadays. And my biggest problem here is all the games I could find that were kind of survival-oriented, and by the way, if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I've played quite a few games, but there's always those gems that, you miss just because there's so many games out nowadays, right? But anyways, I wanted to play a survival-based game, and all the survival-based games that I could find are in early access. And for my own personal reasons, which I'm not going to go into now, I might go into them in a future video, I don't play or buy early access games anymore. So I was kind of stuck. I really wanted to play a survival game. Fruit or veggies. But I couldn't find anything. And then I remembered the TerrafirmaCraft mod. And I had played this probably about a year ago and had a lot of fun with it at the time. So I came back. Ooh, we have a tomato. I'm going to break this so we can get the seeds. Nice. All right, so we have our first bit of food. Ooh, and I see a wild animal. We're going to go kill that in a second. So I am not going into this game blind. As I said, I played it about a year ago. But there's also been quite a bit of stuff added since the last time I played. So there is going to be a little bit of discovery and a little bit of blundering around as I go. So, be prepared to get a laugh in here and there. And I will hopefully be able to teach you the stuff that's at least still relevant from back when I used to play quite a bit of this mod, actually. Alright, so let's catch ourselves some dinner. Yes! Pick up our javelin. Alright, so we have a tomato, we have 42 ounces of chicken, which we're going to have to cook him up tonight. Okay, so we have our food. Our next thing is shelter. We need a shelter to survive the nights. Now, unlike regular Minecraft, you can't just dig a hole in the ground, put a dirt block above your head and expect that to do anything. This game doesn't work like that. Dirt will collapse if it's not supported anything. Almost like sand, except sand will just, in regular Minecraft, sand just collapses straight down. The dirt will kind of spread out to try to fill the area that it's in a little bit. If you know how, like, if you're out in like a sandbox and you take up a handful of sand and you let it fall to the ground, or fall through your fingers onto a pile, it kind of forms like a pyramid shape, right? Well, that's what the dirt and cobblestone in this game will try to do as well. So what we want to do for our first shelter, I was hoping that I could find some grass to start making thatch, but that doesn't seem to have gone so well for us. Will this make... Okay, this stuff works too. I didn't think it would. Doesn't look like regular grass. Thatch is one of the earliest building materials you have available to you, and it's probably what your first shelter is going to be made out of. I don't think... Where's the sun? I don't think we're going to get our first shelter built, unless we can find like a natural cave or something. That would actually be really handy. Maybe I should be looking more for something like that. Ooh, I see a lot of tomatoes over here. That's really good, actually. That'll be enough food to last us for our first few days as we get ourselves set up. Oh, the other thing, this tree just kind of reminded me of this, that this game introduces is the concept of seasons. There's 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And, different crops grow at different times of the year, so you have to kind of pay attention to stuff like that. So, as I said, this mod just adds so much to the survival aspect of Minecraft. It's absolutely unreal. And it'll be a lot of fun to go through. Now, I'm not sure how long this series is going to be. Minecraft really is one of those games that you could play forever in the same world, and some people play for quite a while oops, knife ran out. People play for quite a while in the same world. I'm not one of those. I'll invest a good amount of time into a world, but after I feel I've completed it, I'm the type of person that just likes to burn it all to the ground and start it again. But I'm not sure when this series is going to end. It will eventually, obviously, as all series must. But we've got a long way to go before, more stuff. More metal, I mean. We got a long way to go before we get to that point. Look at me. We're not even 10 minutes into the first episode, and I'm already talking about ending the series. Not for a while, guys, don't worry. Ooh, it looks like... Okay, so the way that mining works in this, I feel I should touch on this considering that this is kind of important. The mining in this mod doesn't work the same as in vanilla. In fact, very, very little works the same as in vanilla. Vanilla is a good base, and this mod builds off that base. Mining, you don't just make a tunnel underground and, start mining and find diamonds and iron and everything else. You have to kind of search for the metal on the surface here. Like this is metal. This is phyllorite, I think. Yep, it's phyllorite. That was about here, I think. You have to find it on the surface, and that kind of indicates that there is a vein of this stuff kind of underground. But even then, you have to kind of find it, and to do that, you need to use something called a prospector pick, which we will be touching on here shortly. And I may have found the cave, which will be home for our first night. I should make myself a shovel before I get too deep in there. So let's grab our rocks. And I want to go like this. Shovel. Stick. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's go see if we can't maybe turn this cave into some place livable. Do I have any dirt on me? Of course not. Now, only problem doing things this way is you have to be really careful of, like, cave-ins. Alright, so far so good. Keep digging down. Nice. And how deep does this one go? Oh, this will be a perfect shelter for us to start with. Okay. So before I get too much further, I need to build a fire pit So I can start getting some torches to light that place up, so we don't have zombies, you know, crawling out of our closet. So I need to build a fire starter. Oh, you know what else I need before I can really do too much? I need logs. So, all right, I need to set something up so I remember this place. We are losing the light. All right, that should be good enough. We have trees right over here, so I just need to cut a couple of these down. Come on. There we go. All right, that'll be enough logs to get us started. So the way you build a fire is you have to select your spot, which, let's say we want to build our fire, break that. Say we want to build our fire right here. I'm going to do this quick. You throw 3 sticks on the ground, and then you right-click on them with your fire starter. You might have to click a couple times to get it started. Now, to make torches, you stick a stick in the fire, and that'll give you a couple of torches. Let's keep an eye out for mobs here. As soon as we see some, we're going to have to make a dash underground, because we have no capability to fight right now. Alright. Let's take a walk underground, get our new home lit up, and then see what we can maybe do to make it just a tiny bit more secure. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to kind of block off this front passage here. And that's where that thatch that I talked about earlier is going to come in. We're going to just kind of build it out like this here. That creates a nice little doorway. And we'll stick a couple extra pieces down. We can pick this stuff up pretty easily. So that will keep the monsters out for now. So this is home sweet home for the time being. Fortunately, we can't really do much to kind of even things out or give us a little bit more headroom. This is just a temporary shelter as it is anyway. This is something that is meant to do nothing more than really, you know, protect us from the monsters. Now, I am starting to get rather hungry, so we're going to eat that tomato. Now, as you saw, by eating the tomato, I didn't eat all of it. Every food kind of has this amount, this 11.1 ounces. And some foods, actually most foods, will decay. As you can see, the chicken's already kind of started, but it doesn't have any decay, really. We need to cook that up pretty soon to help preserve it longer. So as you see, we went from like 11 ounces or so down to 6. So you eat a little bit of it, and then you can stack food together as well. We're going to eat a good amount of that tomato. And then let's see if we can't go out without getting eaten. And our fire has gone out, which is unfortunate. Alright. Oh, I see zombies. And they're coming this way. Of course you're not going to make this easy on me, are you? Alright. Back into the shelter. Now, unfortunately, he might not get killed by the sunlight when it comes out. What time is it? Let's see, we are at hour 21. I'm not sure what time dawn is, but... Alright guys, well, I don't really have much to do until dawn comes. It's too dangerous to travel on the surface. But, so I will come back here as soon as dawn comes, or if something else interesting happens, but I don't think it will. And we will continue with our survival journey. See you on the flip side. Just as a small aside, this is kind of cool. The hour is the witching hour. Ooh, spooky. Sorry, I'm incredibly bored waiting for the dawn to come. Alright, back soon. Okay, looks like dawn's come. So I'm thinking a full, bright, daylight burning the undead day comes sometime between hours 5 and 6, which is good to know. I didn't know that before. Though I wouldn't put it past the guy to make it so that the length of the day changes with the season. Okay, so what I was trying to do before here, our fire has gone out, which is unfortunate, so we need to give it some more fuel. And I want to cook up this bird. That'll be our breakfast. And let's restart our fire. So as we can see, he's getting warm. Now he's hot. A little bit of decay on him, but that's not too bad. 0.1%. Excellent. All right. So there's breakfast. All right. So we've eaten a little bit of the bird. We can put them up here. Now, these flowers, I'm sure you've seen them before as I was wandering around, are very important. These flowers mean that there's clay underneath here. If I dig up my shovel, see? Clay. Clay is very important because it allows you to get access to some of the, earlier items, as well as a kind of portable way to actually get, water, which is important. Oopsies. Easy does it. There we go. All right, how much clay do we got? 25. All right, now I just need to remember what the recipe for this is. If you give me a moment. All right, so it looks like to craft a clay jug, we need to do this, essentially. That, and then like that, and then like that. All right. That'll give us a clay jug. I also want to do some clay vessels, which we will need later. We're gonna do 2 jugs and 2 vessels. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. All right. Now the way that we actually use these, do I have enough wood? No. Okay. First I have to go cut down some more wood. Let me go do that real quick. So let's come over to one of these trees. You look like a good candidate. Alright, and down she comes. Alright, that'll give us plenty of wood to work with. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to come back over here because I don't want to lose my home in the ground. I'm just going to put some torches around it so I can hopefully find it later. So you can't just use these things right off. They're like raw clay. It's still gross and slimy and everything else. So you have to basically create a kiln for them. And to do that, you dig a hole in the ground. And let's create some room in my hotbar here. You place these items on the ground by shift right clicking. Now we need to take some straw. We put 8 of those in there. And then we need to put logs on top. Just like that. And now what we do is we take our fire starter, which is right here, shift right click, and that'll start to burn. Give that a little while, and the fire will eventually go out. When it does, we will have our clay pots and vessels that we can use. In the meantime, I'm going to go over here and start picking some of these tomatoes, because these are going to be a really important source of food for us. And what I mean, what I said before, you can stack these foods. See, it's like 16.5 ounces out of 160. What I can do, stick them both up in the crafting window, and it combines them together into 33.2. So it just makes it a little easier to carry food around. I'm actually going to make a hole on my hotbar here. No, don't eat it. What we also need to do, is this fresh water or salt water? This is fresh water. Alright, so we're going to just sit here and drink for a second. Seems a little weird, I know, but... Alright, that'll prevent us from dehydrating before the clay stuff is done, and then we can use those for a easier time drinking, rather than having to drown ourselves. Alright, let's go ahead and combine all these tomatoes. Ooh, I see another wild animal. Hello, dinner. Gotcha. There's another one. These guys, it's not really a big problem if you kill them, because, at least I don't think it is. They are wild animals, which means that they won't, you can't tame them, you can't use them for farming. So, murder. That gets us some food. That'll probably be good enough for now as far as meat goes. I don't want to overdo it on the meat. Because if we do, it will eventually start to go bad. I see some more tomatoes. Those I want to grab. Oh, I should be cutting this grass down too. Lots of stuff to worry about in this game. Luckily, we should have our basics covered in our very first episode, and then it'll be on to making, you know, a better shelter and getting access to better tools and all that kind of stuff. Alright, tomato. Fuck you, because I want the plant. What else? Ah, there it is. Knew I saw another one over here. Alright, I'm going to also chop down some logs while I'm over here. Before I do, though, if you don't break the leaves when you chop down a tree, there's no chance you'll get, like, sticks or saplings for it. So, we're going to break some of these to hopefully get some saplings. And get some sticks as well. Man, these things do take a while to chop down. But that's one of the reasons to upgrade our axe fairly quickly. That and you get more wood per tree that you chop down. There's a bit of a penalty for using a stone axe to cut down a tree, which I suppose makes sense. So let's keep chopping down this grass. We should. Let's go back and see how that kiln's doing. Maybe we'll be ready to show how that stuff works. Nope, fire's still burning. One of the things we should be doing is kind of wandering around here and seeing if we can't find any surface metals, especially copper. Get up on here, see what we can see from up here. Copper is a very important metal to find early on. And so far I haven't seen any. There's some more. Ooh, generating new chunks. Alright, I'm going to make up a few pieces of cobblestone to use as markers. What can we... I can pull that out. That was right there. Ah, see what I mean? How it kind of tries to form a pyramid? We're going to put that there instead. It doesn't have to be that exact, and that'll prevent it from collapsing when I don't want it to. And I don't want to go too far away, because we are getting close to the end of our second day here. Ooh, we found some more metal, though. Let's create another piece of cobblestone. Actually, you know what? Nah, that's close enough. I don't really need to mark out the two separates. Oh, but here's another piece. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. We can put that one... You see, I do have some dirt in here. No, I didn't mean to do that. In here? Yeah, we'll just put the cobblestone there. That'll be good enough. That plant's not ready yet. Alright, we are practically done with the daytime. So I'm going to make a quick retreat back to the shelter. I was hoping I'd have a chance to make a water run before darkness fell. I think I'll have to risk it anyway. We don't really have a whole ton of hydration left. Oh shoot, our kiln isn't even done yet. I was kind of hoping it would be. Hopefully that'll go out here soon. Alright, well before the sun goes down completely, we're going to get another chicken cooking. That we can eat him later. Oh, we can cook. We still have this guy, so let's chow down on him. The others restarted. Oh, cool, that finished. Excellent. Break this so we get all of them back. Okay, so now we have these vessels and the jugs. The jugs are the important ones for right now. Because what we can do is we can go over to this fresh water that we have over here. And hopefully I don't die trying to do this. Again, I'm going to be doing this rather quickly. So I can right-click on it and fill the jugs with water. And then once we get back to the safety of our shelter. All right, cooked chicken. Can I cook tomatoes? I don't know if you can cook tomatoes or not. Doesn't appear so. All right, time to go back underground before the monsters come out to eat us. All right, so back into our little makeshift shelter here. Let's seal up the door. Okay, and then after you fill these water jugs, as I was saying, you can drink from them to restore your hydration way faster than, you know, submerging your head underwater. One of the things we're going to do. Now, the reason why we made these vessels is because they're useful. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. They're useful for storing items. And actually, food will decay slightly slower if it's inside a vessel than if it was just sitting in your inventory. And then you can place them on the ground and kind of like an early version of a chest. Now, before any of you get kind of smart and, oh, I'll just store all my food in an unloaded chunk and, you know, that way it'll never go bad. This mod's already thought of that one, and the food will still go bad even in an unloaded chunk. It won't obviously go bad while it's in the unloaded chunk, but as soon as it loads, it kind of checks the time and says, oh, I should be this rotten by this point, and will, like, all instantly rot. So, yeah, you really need to kind of be careful with how you, you know, how much food you take off the vine, because as soon as you take it off the vine, it starts to decay and all that other good stuff. These ceramic vessels have a lot of uses, which we'll touch on in the next episode. So I'm going to call this episode to a close as we wait out the deepest, darkest night inside our hole, gazing at the sky, waiting for our chance to emerge once more, to forage and frolic amongst the plains. I don't know, I'm not poetic. Thank you guys very much for watching, and so long.